Hello everyone, it's Karen Knott here from Primetime Business, and today I'm really looking forward to having a chat with the lady that you can see here on your screen, who is Sue Baker from itsnevertoolate.co.uk. Fantastic name for a business, Sue.
It kind of sums it all up,
Yeah,
doesn't
I was
it?
going to say, it sort of,
Yeah.
I'm guessing it sort of does what it says on the can here, but tell us a little bit about itsnevertoolate.co.uk.
Okay, Karen. Well, it's nevertoolate.co.uk was something that I'd been wanting to sort of create for the last 5 years. Prior to that, I'd been a bodywork therapist and I'd studied counselling and emotional therapy as an additional support to people who received body therapy because that tends to bring up all sorts of things, and I needed skills and tools to be able to help people deal with it. And then a little while ago, I discovered EFT, which has just been totally life changing. And when I discovered that, I thought that's what I'm going to do. I'd brought this domain some time ago because I knew sometime I was going to do this, but I
Okay.
didn't really quite know how because I had my own self doubt and lack of confidence as to how I was going to do it. And so that's kind of how it was born. I did a short workshop with Nick Williams
Yes,
of
I know Nick,
Inspired
yeah.
Entrepreneur, and that was working with your miracle brand. And then I was so lucky I had an hour's coaching with him following that and put it all together. But that was back in 2011.
Right.
So I created this site the end of last year, the end of 2015.
So, am I guessing there was some sort of catalyst, perhaps, that's happened between 2011 and now to
Yes, well,
bring this
the
about?
catalyst really came in 2010.
Okay.
As I say, I'd always been a bodywork therapist, but due to lack of confidence and belief in myself and my abilities, I'd often deviate off that path. And we also had a family business that had been started by my father-in-law that had been established for 58 years. And that came to an end very abruptly in 2010, which was very traumatic. But in the end, once I could kind of resurfaced after
Yeah.
that, I thought this is just the universe saying to me, just get on with it. You know, you
Mm.
keep coming off your path and then you go back on it.
Mm.
And it made me really think if I'm going to do this, I've got to do it now and I've got to just get on with it. And it was really the kick up the backside that I needed, if you like. It wasn't quite as simple as that. There's been little glitches all along the way. But that was really the catalyst. That's what led me to where I am today.
So, I know that you work with women over
Yeah.
45, or
Yes.
women
Yeah.
of a certain
So
age. And I guess, there's a certain synergy between what you do and
mm,
what I do, in as much as
yes,
we work with the same
absolutely.
sort of women. And
Mm,
so I know that, feelings of it's too late
mm,
are things which can really sort of put a stumbling block in front of people's ambition, actually,
definitely.
and aspirations to get out there and do their own thing.
Yeah.
Is that part of the sort of work that you do, Sue?
It is because that was the thought process that I had when
Mm.
I thought, right, I'm really going to do this now. Then this little nagging voice came into my head and said, but you've left it too late, really. You know, you
Mm.
should have done this years ago.
Mm.
But actually, I don't think I should have done it years ago. I think this is the right time for me because today I'm a completely different person to that I was when I was, say, 25, 30. Got so much more life experience. I think that gives you empathy, doesn't it, with the
Absolutely, yeah.
people that you're working with.
Yeah.
And there are so many women out there that feel like they've left it too late, but they've kind of got this niggling feeling that there's
Mm.
something they want to do. That can be start your own business, maybe write a book or just change your career. It can be all sorts of different things, but fear gets in the way.
Mm.
There's this lack of confidence,
Yeah.
and they're frightened about what the outcome might be. And so the work I do with the women is to help them recognise what these beliefs are, really get right in there and clear them through. It helps to improve their confidence and their belief in themselves, and helps them to see that they can do anything they want to do
And
once they gain that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think this it's a tremendous area to be working in, and tremendous to be working with women of this age, because I think perhaps now people are beginning to realise that it is a very dynamic time of life for women, isn't it? There's sort of the whole midlife thing. You know, it used to be that midlife crisis.
Yeah, but it's not
No,
anymore, I don't think.
no, no. That was a real misnomer, actually, wasn't it?
Oh, it certainly was.
Yeah.
And it just labelled women, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then I think a lot of women felt like they were on the scrap heap.
Yeah.
You know, their childbearing years were over, perhaps they'd actually gone through the menopause. And so what was there left? What, you know, what value did they have?
Yeah.
And it's really saddening, isn't it, when you meet women who you can see have so much to give, but they just don't quite know how to kind of get in there and make happen what they want to happen.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It really upsets me, actually, when
It does me too. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know, there are certain there are challenges for everyone, aren't there, in setting
Of
up
course,
a business.
of
So
course
it's
there
no
are.
different for older women than anyone else. But
No.
from your perspective, Sue, what would you say were the main challenges for you personally?
Well, once I decided this was what I was going to do, I had blocks to getting help. I thought I could do it all by myself. And I now know that I couldn't, and that was a silly idea. I don't know if you've ever come across Lisa Barber, who's a
Yes.
marketing mentor.
Yes.
Well, I did her workshop, her kitchen table workshop, back at the early part of 2015. And really, that's when I should have asked her for more help. But I didn't, because I thought, I can do this. You know, I can write my copy. I can get out of my head what I want to say. But I couldn't. And eventually I decided that I would ask for Lisa's help. And she just got into my head and my heart what I wanted to say, so that the words on the pages on my site now do describe what I do and who I am and what I'm about, really. So that was a big thing for me. I've also worked with Linda Anderson, who's another EFT practitioner, and that was really, I recognised the deep blocks that I had myself at really getting going. And I thought, I can do a lot of this on myself, but it's not the same as working with somebody, because somebody else will really kind of get in there for you and explore what's going on, and that was a godsend as well.
It's funny, you know, listening to you say this, because there are certain common themes which come through a lot of these interviews that I do, and that's certainly one of them, about this whole thing about I thought I could do this by myself, you know, and you probably can, but it will just take you a lot longer.
Ages.
Yeah.
Ages, and it's such a waste of time, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And I also think as well, for me, it was a huge thing when I recognised that I really did have faith in what I wanted to do and what I wanted to create. And I had enough faith that I wanted to financially invest in bringing in this help, helping me clear my own blocks, then helping me in a practical sense, and with the technology as well. And I write a blog now, and I did Lisa's kitchen table workshop on writing a blog. So I have now realised that actually it's okay to ask for help, because when you work on your own as well, even though you're working with clients, you are still working as an individual. You're not part of a team, are you? And that can be quite isolating. So I think it's really important to have a good network of people who you can go to for help.
And I think there's something as well about authenticity, in as much as, you know, if you're asking people to invest in you, there's something about, if you're not prepared to invest in your own self, there's a bit of a mismatch then, and you're asking people to invest in you. So,
Absolutely, absolutely there
mm,
is, Karen. Yeah,
mm,
that's so, so true.
mm,
You have to be prepared to do it. And it's all about keeping everybody working. It creates that flow of money, doesn't it?
yes,
If we're prepared to use other people's services to
yes,
help us create the business that we so want,
yes,
then that money flow goes round. And I just
absolutely.
find now what you invest in, what you spend, comes back to you in
Yes,
some other way.
yes. Well, I think the word is investment, isn't it? You are
Yes.
investing in
Mm.
yourself and your business.
Yeah.
You're not just spending money, you're investing it.
No,
It's a huge
absolutely. You
difference.
are investing
Mm,
it.
mm,
And I think too, so much of the journey that you go on when you are creating a business, there's so much in the way of personal development. You learn so much about yourself, don't you?
mm,
And
mm.
and so it is crucial to invest in yourself to help you through that.
Yes.
And you need other people sometimes to be able to do that.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. You mentioned working on yourself, and
mm.
personal development is goes hand in hand with creating a
It
business, right?
does.
But
Yeah.
I mean, so how has that sort of affected you personally? So how have you sort of changed as a result of doing
Wow. If,
this?
if
Wow.
you yes, if you had met me even a year ago, I am so, so different. My son has his own business and he belongs to Nigel Bottrell's Entrepreneur Circle. So my son was really encouraging me to make videos of myself, do this on my website, do that, do that. And I just so wasn't ready. I couldn't. The idea of being seen on a video like this just left me running for the hills, really.
Mm,
But
mm,
since I found EFT and I use it every day on myself for different things. Even if I'm procrastinating about writing a blog, I'll tap on it and see what comes up. What's that fear around that? And so my confidence has grown. If you look at my site now, there's an introductory video. I've made two tapping videos. I wouldn't have done that a year ago. And I have that, so it was a big investment for me, but it paid off
yes,
because I had the confidence to make my site look how I really wanted it to look.
yes,
I could have just settled. I could have just thought, oh, I'll just have one that's sort of very stereotypical, looks perhaps like the next person, but I knew what I wanted. Because of the kind of work that I do, I think it's really key that people can meet me, even if it's on the web, but they can get a sense of who I am, how I work, because I'll be right for some people, but I won't be right for everybody. And that's okay. And you should give potential clients the opportunity to make that decision for themselves by anonymously just browsing your site and having a look at you, really.
yes.
So I've changed so, so much. I've got so much more confidence, definitely.
And it's interesting, isn't it, the whole thing about confidence and visibility? I mean,
Mm,
until you feel confident, you just think, oh, I can't possibly be on video, and I can't
no,
possibly be talking to people, etc. But that's part of that sort of whole process, isn't it? And it's about just saying yes, like you say, here I am. If you want people to work with you, they've got to know you.
of course they have.
And one of
Yeah,
the quickest ways for them to get to know you is to see you and listen
yeah.
to you, and then in
Oh,
conversations like
definitely.
this as well.
Def- Absolutely, definitely. So I'm so glad that I persisted with it. I had to do an awful lot of tapping on that.
Mm.
Linda and I did a lot of deep work together that got me through a lot of my really big blocks. And I'm just so glad I did that. She's a lovely lady, and I found her by seeing her on her site. We've never met in person, and it is just key, isn't it?
Yes,
You meet somebody
yes,
in inverted
yeah,
commas,
yeah,
and you just think, yeah, I think I could work with that
yeah.
person. I think this would be good for me. So yes, it's been huge.
Yeah, and that actually, just reminds me of how lucky we are to be doing this now. In
Oh,
as much as,
yeah,
isn't it fantastic that we can talk to a potential audience
I know. Anywhere.
from just from the comfort
Yeah,
of your
I
room,
know.
etc.
I know. I was lucky enough to be featured in Woman and Home in their February edition. So people have read that all over the place. But a lady from Cyprus read it and contacted me. And so we Skyped working together last week. And, I just thought, I would never ever have got involved in the technology that I have done now if I hadn't created this business. Previously, I was always just Sue Baker Wellbeing, my website,
Right.
and it didn't have any videos or anything like that on it. It was just text and copy. So this is really quite a breakthrough for me to do it this way. And I've learnt so much about managing my own site, making videos. That I'm still not quite where I want to be with how I produce a video. But one big thing I learned is it doesn't have to be perfect. And that was huge. As long as you do it, just do it and get it up there. And you can always adjust it at a later date if you want to change it.
Yeah, I think perfectionism, I mean, that actually it's something that perfectionism and procrastination, I think, sort of go hand in hand very often. But you have to let it go and just say, I'm doing the best I can at this particular time.
Absolutely.
And
I feel that other women like you and I would perhaps listen to this, or they would see that and they'd see themselves in that and think, oh, well, that it's okay. I don't have to get it absolutely 100%. You know, you just got to be kinder to yourself, haven't you?
Yeah. And talking of, you know, you mentioned that making videos and so forth. Well, you know, this is technology, okay?
Yes.
That we're saying. And so how have you, I mean, some people do sort of say, oh, that's one of the things I've struggled with. How was that piece for you?
Well, originally I was going to make my introduction video, made it, and I wasn't happy with it at all. And the feedback that I got was that it wasn't quite right. And I could have given up then and just thought, right, I won't have videos. But I was so determined. And I'm very lucky. I have, my son helped me, my son-in-law. So my dining room looked like a recording studio with these great big lights and so on. But I got there in the end. Yeah. And that was a real first for me as well, being determined. And that was key. I asked for help. And when I asked for help, people are always so willing and so happy to help you. Especially when there's that generation gap.
Yes.
You know, my kids were brought up with all the technology. They've grown up with it.
Yeah.
I wasn't. When we were at school, we didn't have computers, mobile phones, you know, all that kind of stuff.
But you can learn as you go, can't you?
Absolutely, yeah. And my website now, I can manage myself, and I've learned how to put links in. And I just never thought, would I be doing this all by myself?
Yeah.
So it just shows you that you can do it. You absolutely can. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I was just wondering whether we ought to tell people of what happened before we started this video. They might find that quite reassuring.
Yes.
We started and it was like, oh, it's only recording one of us. It's like, help!
But it was fine, wasn't it?
It was fine. Google comes up trumps yet again with the answer. So
we got there, didn't we?
So what would you say is the very best thing, Sue, about what you do? For you, what do you feel it is?
For me, my work just makes my heart sing. I just feel so passionate about when you have knowledge and you have skills, there's no good keeping them to yourself. So I just really want to share what I know and the work that I do to empower other women, really. And it does just make my heart sing. I love it. The effects that it has on people, seeing them clear stuff that they've been hanging on to for years. And just starting to be the best version of themselves. And one of the lines on my site is about making the rest of your life the best of your life.
Yeah.
And I think that's so exciting to get to this point where you don't have the tie of young children anymore. You can really be who you perhaps always felt you wanted to be. I feel I'm so much nearer who I was meant to be when I came to this planet than I was when I was 20. So it's been extraordinary, really.
So if there's someone watching our conversation now who is sort of either at the very start of their journey to setting up a business, doing what they love to do, or or they're just thinking about it, what sort of bits of advice would you have for those people to encourage them?
Well, I would encourage them to really follow, when I first started, just follow your dreams. If you come up with an idea, if something comes to you, trust it, trust it. And I always used to write everything down. When I look back now, I've got lots of notes that actually is what I'm doing now. If you do find you've got blocks, if there are things that you think, oh no, I'd love to do that, but I don't really think I can, or I'm fearful, or so on and so forth. So many of us have come from that place.
Yes.
But you can get through that. Ask for help, for definite. That I think that's key. You can't, we're not islands, are we? We don't, and that's part of this work that we do with women. You're engaging with other women, and ask for help, because people are always so happy to help you. Investing in yourself is really, really key.
Well, here we go, Sue. We're coming to the end again. I say this at the end of every single one. It's like, where did that last 20 minutes go? But thank you so much for...
You're welcome. It's been an absolute
Thank you for your patience with the old technological gremlins.
I was very impressed, and like you said, we could always have tapped on that. It got really crazy.
I was coming to that next, actually.
You did brilliantly. So
I'm going to put all your details below this video so that people can find out more about what you do. But thank you so much, and all the very best for your business.
Thank you, and to you as well, Karen.
Thanks.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Bye bye.